lily for you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to my freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters in the building. It's your boy, Stabzilla Gorilla. Welcome to the definition of anarchy, where this morning I'm going to hit you upside the head with another morning paper. Hope you got your coffee ready, because we're going to get into this, you guys. Salute to my moderators. Anarchy Television is in the building. Realize is in the building. Orange Lily for you is in the building. Thank you so much for the compliment. Flying Guillotine is in the building. We also have William Cawley, I think, is in here. I appreciate everybody. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. Yep. Yes. We're going to get into this because I feel like it's important to highlight. It's important to highlight this because, well, we got to know and I had a lot of people come in here and tell me, right? As I've been covering this whole thing with Venezuela, covering the whole thing with Donald Trump, Donald Trump's agenda for imperialism for his corporate elite masters, right? The push for imperialism across the world, across the Western Hemisphere. I've had people come into the and they would address me as though I'm attacking their baby daddy when it comes to Donald Trump. And they say things like, oh, we voted for this. We voted for this. This is what we voted for. When good and goddamn well, y'all did not vote for this, right? Because Donald Trump did not campaign on imperialism. You guys also came in here, right, and told me that Donald Trump freed the people of Venezuela. The people of Venezuela are celebrating in the streets. They're free now. They can do whatever they want. They no longer have a dictator, all this bullshit. Yeah, you guys came in here and told me that. You told me. This is what you guys told me. Why? Because, well, for some reason, you guys have this unwavering love and infatuation with Donald Trump. And I don't understand it. I understand the human condition, but I can never understand staying in the pocket with somebody that has lied to your face blatantly. He lied and told you that he would not participate or initiate regime change wars. He told you that he's the president of peace and law and order. He told you that he was going to release the Epstein files. Oh, that he campaigned on that. And he has not done any of that. And so here we are. You guys come and tell me, oh, I voted for this. No, you didn't, because Donald Trump did not tell you that he was going to invade in Venezuela during his last he was going to initiate regime change wars. He didn't tell you that. He didn't tell you any of that. No, he told you the opposite. And you voted for it, right? Now, did he talk about Venezuela in his first term? Sure he did. Yeah, he said he wanted to take it for the oil. And then, for some strange reason last year, when they started attacking tiny little boats, they tell you it's about the drugs. And he was able to pull the wool over the eyes of many of you, but not me. Well, what do we have now? Donald Trump had President Maduro of Venezuela kidnapped so that essentially he could take control of the country and control the resources within Venezuela. Not just oil, gold, and land. Positioning, right? A lot of it has to do with the position of where Venezuela is, the very strategic position. And the trade routes for the oil is a lot more, it's much more simple to get oil in and out of our country, right, than it would to get it from OPEC and whatnot over in the Middle East. There are many reasons Donald Trump wanted to take Venezuela. There are many reasons why Donald Trump wants to take the entire Western Hemisphere on behalf of the bankers and the corporations. Well, what do you got? Y'all told me that Donald Trump was freeing the Venezuelans. That, they're free now, they're happy, they're celebrating in the streets. Right? You guys told me that Donald Trump was some type of liberator. This is what you told me. Right? But what do we have? Well, we have the tune changing. Like I told you guys. I've been telling y'all for days. When you tell me that they're celebrating the freedom from Maduro and Maduro's reign and dictatorship. Right? Well, now Donald Trump wants to try a different approach, according to what is reported in the Wall Street Journal. If you guys want to go look into that, the idea now is not to change the regime that was Maduro's. Yeah, it's no longer the goal is no longer to perform a regime change in Venezuela. Just like I told you guys, the regime never changed. They kidnapped Maduro, but his government and his cabinet is still in place and still in control. I told y'all that. You guys kept coming in here telling me that they're free. Donald Trump took out the government. No, he did not. No, Maduro's government, Maduro's loyalists, right? The Chavistas, right, is what they call them. Those who have supported what Chavez has done as president. Getting the corporations out of his country, releasing the reins of the United States from Venezuela, getting that knocked out. Yeah, those individuals, they're still in control. They still run the government. The vice president, who is now president in place of Maduro, is still part of Maduro's government. So all this talk about the Venezuelans celebrating an end to the regime is a bunch of bullshit because, well, the regime that he ran is still in place. The regime that was in place when he was president is still in place right now. And so now what Donald Trump is trying to do is manage the existing regime. Yes, Donald Trump wants to manage the existing regime. He's no longer trying to change it, right? So Miss Machado, this Machado lady, the fraudulent Nobel Peace Prize winner, the opposition leader of Maduro, yeah, he's no longer interested in trying to get her in there because, well, he said that she doesn't have the respect or the support. Well, tell me how so many people wanted Maduro out of there when she's not going to have the support and the respect. Because she was the opposition leader, right? If there was so much opposition to Maduro, right, and they had been talking to Machado about replacing Maduro, then why isn't she in there right now? If there's so many people that hated Maduro, oh, everybody in Venezuela, everybody and their mama, they all hate Maduro. They're celebrating the United States. They're waving around U.S. flags and all this bullshit. Okay, then why isn't Machado in there? Why is the vice president Delcy? I've got her last name. Pardon me for that. Delcy. Why is she president now? Well, she was Maduro's vice president. She was his assistant, essentially. She is carrying on his regime. So tell me, all you liars out there, all you asshats, all you, the Anthony Bryan Logans, the Brandon Tatums, the Braytons from Langley Outdoors Academy, all the Tim Puddle, all these cats running around telling y'all that we did such a great thing for Venezuela. When now, how is it that Machado's not in place? The people are liberated, they're free, and they love this shit, right? Well, why are we talking about managing the existing regime instead of just replacing it like we wanted to in the first place? Because we would have the support of all the people, right? Because everybody in Venezuela are celebrating. What was it? What was it? Help me understand it. Tell me. A vice president is not an assistant. Anyway, that's the dumbest statement I ever heard in my life. Assistant, yeah. She assists the president in his duties as a leader of the nation, yeah. You want me to say his vice? Oh, she's his vice. Is that what you want me to say? Fuck out of here with that. Why are you keep repeating his predecessor? Veterans against Trump. Not only veterans against Trump, veterans against a tyrannical government. Because it's not just about Trump. Right? It's not just about Trump. So salute to realize. Why are you wearing a hoodie? Are you a pig? Why are you wearing that hoodie? No, I'm not a pig. Never was, never will be. I just like the what it says, right? Because I don't know, are you assigning shit show supervisor to a police officer? Because we were saying that when I was in the military over 20 years ago. So I am a U.S. Army veteran. This is why I'm wearing this sweater. And this is a veteran-owned company that sells this, not a pig company. Not a form. No, this is a veteran-owned company. Shit show supervisor did not come from the pig department. It came from the military. Just like soup sandwich and all that type of shit. Anyway, y'all, it is what it is. Thank you, Thomas Knapp. Salute to Right Nature Trip. Salute to you. Once the Supreme Court gave Trump complete immunity, we're screwed. Well, I'll tell you what. They didn't just give Trump immunity. They gave every president immunity. They already had this immunity. All they did was affirm it. What? Presidents have been going around ordering the killings of people for decades. Centuries. Presidents have been killing and ordering the slaughter of individuals. And when have you ever seen a president get arrested? You've never seen it. They've already had the immunity. Salute to you, Dallas. Hell yeah, bro. Thank you for your service. Make sure you're getting all your benefits. If you're not 100% look at secondaries. That's what's up. Yeah. Shit show supervisor did not come from the pig department. That's not where it came from. We were saying this when I was in the military. So, yeah. So think about it. Because this is what a lot of people have come to tell me. That Donald Trump had freed and liberated the people of Libya. Well, that was Obama, wasn't it? He liberated the Libyans. No, the Venezuelans. If the Venezuelans were so liberated, why doesn't Machado have the support and the respect to take over as president? Don't say because she's a woman, because Delcy is a female and she's running the country. And she has the support. She has the support of the cabinet. She has the support of the military. What's going on here? Salute to Mind and Master Musa in the building. Salute to my brother. I ain't seen you in a minute, brother. Where you been? I ain't seen you anywhere. And shout out to the mighty LDBC, y'all. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. To which I'm a member. I am a member of the LDBC. So shout out to them. Think about it. I appreciate you. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. I'm just using common sense. They want Delcy because they want to manipulate her. They're not going to be able to manipulate Delcy. You know who Delcy's mother is? Delcy's mother was a writer. She was a freedom fighter in Venezuela. She helped get them motherfuckers out of there with Chavez. She's not, yeah. But see, this is the thing. I told you guys, right? I told you that they don't want to initiate a ground invasion in Venezuela because it would not work out well. It would lead to a lot of loss of life. unnecessarily, right? And they would basically go directly for Maduro, right? They would, whether it be assassinate him or whether it be kidnap him. And what did they do? They ended up kidnapping Maduro. And then they thought that would send shockwaves through the government of Venezuela and break it up and create a power vacuum. And I thought there might be a power vacuum myself. I did do that. I did, because I believe that he may have been betrayed by members of his cabinet or members of his military. And I believe that he still may have been, just not to the degree I thought initially, because he might have been betrayed, but they probably find out who betrayed Maduro and have quietly taken care of that. So I told you guys they would not initiate a full-scale ground invasion on Venezuela because it would not work out well. I told you guys that. I told you they would go directly for Maduro. That's what they did. Then I told you, not to brag, but this is why I do this stuff, right? I tell you guys things. I forecast because I'm telling you where things could lead to. And you guys come in here, you talk shit. And then when the thing that I say is going to happen comes to pass, well, I'm showing you, well, maybe there's something to what I'm saying. Maybe I know what I'm talking about a little bit. So, what did I say? Well, they can't. They're not going to invade Venezuela. So what they're going to try to do is intimidate the current regime to do what they want, which is basically to be a puppet government. But remember when Maduro was trying to work with the U.S. government to allow them to have all access to all the oil they want, the gold, they could come and he basically said, you can do what you want, just leave us the fuck alone, right? We'll let you have some oil. We'll let you come in here and get some refineries going and maybe improve the infrastructure. Well, okay, we'll allow you to do it. Just leave us the fuck alone. Thank you. I appreciate you, Orange Lily, for you. That David Trump is mad how? Health is the next wealth of 2026. Yes, it is. It's the health is wealth every year. No, they're not in cahoots with Delcy. They're not. They're not in cahoots with Delcy. The idea is to manage Delcy and the rest of the cabinet. That's the idea. But according to Trump, they're having conversations, right? And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I got to go back and read. I believe that they're trying to get her to come to the United States to have a conversation, right? Because they don't have the regime. They don't have the control of the regime. They're not managing shit. So what they did was they wasted time. They wasted military assets. They wasted a whole lot of money. Okay? To get Maduro over here to the United States. They killed at least 200 people in the process. They killed 100 fishermen, which I'm going to call them because they haven't been proven guilty of any drug smuggling, right? They killed 100 fishermen and 100 more folks when they launched that strike on January 3rd. So over 200 people may have been killed for nothing because they didn't get what they wanted. Salute to good guy activism. Salute to you. Someone says you have no idea what you're talking about. But I'm just telling you the facts. I'm telling you the things that are happening. Salute to good guy activism. Y'all go check his channel out. He is an anti-pig, just like myself. Yes, I did. I checked out a couple of your videos. I appreciate your work. Yeah. Now I know why you asked me if I was a pig supporter, because of this sweatshirt. And I was telling my supporters earlier in the stream that this came from the military. It did not come from the pigs originally. We were saying this 20 years ago when I was in the military. I never heard a cop use this term. This is a veteran-owned company. I sound like a lefty? Why? Because I don't like Trump? I don't like Trump, so I'm a lefty. At some point after this, hopefully Trump will be charged with... Where are the people that were talking shit yesterday? Where y'all at? You calling these boats fishermen just shows you do not look at anything. Play fishermen, do not use... Fishermen do not use small flat top boats with no fishing equipment. So, oh, not the sweatshirt? Oh, okay. Good guy, activism. Okay, salute to you. Because somebody asked me if I was a pig earlier because of the sweatshirt. Okay. Salute to you. Now, this guy says that you don't fish on boats like that. Who said that? So, if you tried to fish on a flat boat with 5 motors, what would happen? Would you blow up? Would lightning strike and kill you? So you're only allowed to fish off fishing boats? What is a fishing boat? Who gets to determine what a fishing boat is and is not? And if you're not on a designated fishing boat, that means that they can blow you up? Yeah, I'm calling them fishermen until it's proven otherwise. See, because Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump and them called them drug dealers and drug smugglers with no proof. So let me guess. If you have 5 motors on your boat, that makes you a drug dealer. You know how stupid y'all sound? So if I go out and buy a 5-motor boat that's flat, will drugs magically appear in the boat? Does it come with drugs? How many drugs does it come with? So if you go to a boat dealer and you buy a boat like you described, will drugs come with the boat? Help me understand that. Well, will I have to sign a contract that says that I have to smuggle drugs with the boat? What are you talking about? Y'all sound dumb as hell. Do you know how much one of those motors costs? The goalpost moves is wild. One of those boats motors costs more than the car you driving. You can't make this shit up. US doesn't have jurisdiction. Exactly. But we're talking about boat types. You can't make this shit up. Anyway. So this is what you guys come with today, telling me about motorboats. I'm making what up? What am I making up? Salute to Mallory, thank you. 3,000 horsepower engine is... I don't give a fuck. What does that have to do with anything? Why should I care about how much a boat costs? What? Anyway, y'all, this is some wild shit. Nothing you're saying is proving anything. Right? So come better than that. Telling me what type of boat does what, I don't give a fuck. I don't care how much the engine costs. Just so you know. The cost of an engine has nothing to do with whether or not someone is a fisherman. And where are you getting this information from about those boats? Where are you getting this information from? Where are you getting this information that every single boat they blew up had 5 motors, one that cost $50,000 each? Where are you getting this information from? I don't give a fuck how many boats you owned. Did you smuggle drugs on those boats? Are you an automatic drug dealer if you have a boat like that? Knock it off. Anyway, so the idea that you guys presented to me was that the Venezuelans are free and that Donald Trump has rescued the people of Venezuela. That They're celebrating in the streets because they're no longer being dictated and ruled over by Maduro. But their government, Maduro's regime, is still in place. And so Donald Trump wants to manage them, not to replace them. But y'all ain't got nothing to say today about that? Where are the people talking about the Venezuelans are free? Oh, y'all ain't here today. Right. Mega Destroyer. Mega T Destroyer. He says, so I guess every farmer is a drug lord having a $250,000 equipment. It's stupid as hell. You know, y'all have nothing. Salute to Mahari Nation in the building. Patrick Kassang says, yes, but they're also chanting no to the Zionists in Israel, but no one wants to speak about that either. Yeah. Yes. And that's why they want to put Machado in there. Well, they know that she's not going to, they'll probably rip her ass apart if she gets in there as president. The people of Venezuela. If the people of Venezuela hated Maduro so much, then why can't Machado waltz up in there and run the country? Right? That's my question. Salute to the brother Stormy B Man. Salute to the sensei. I appreciate you for coming through. Veterans hate Trump and MAGA, and ICE can't prove me wrong. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try. Trust me on that. Think about that. Think about that. This whole thing was about, first it was about the drugs. Then they told you what it was really about. It was about the oil, the resources, and the position, and owning and taking control of the entire Western Hemisphere. They telling y'all to your face what this is about, but you guys run around. Y'all running around. These content creators that gobble on Donald Trump's nuts. They run around and tell y'all about freedom of liberating Venezuelans and all this other bullshit. Oh, this is a good thing. Oh, yeah. Anthony Brian Logan, silly ass, is telling y'all it was better to go in and kidnap Maduro to prevent a war with Venezuela. That Venezuela was a threat. And to mitigate the threat, it was better to invade Venezuela and kidnap the president? When were we in any danger of going to war with Venezuela? When has Venezuela ever posed a threat to the United States? Never. Not even with drug smuggling. Yeah, because most of the drugs, most of the cocaine, which mostly comes from Colombia, by the way. Colombia is the biggest producer of cocaine, not Venezuela. And anything that was smuggled out of Venezuela mostly went to Europe. Mostly. Most of the drugs leaving Venezuela goes to Europe. Venezuela was never a threat to us. So why is Anthony Brian Logan running around telling people it was better to kidnap Maduro to prevent a war? Why? Because for some reason, he wants to sell a dream. He wants to sell a lie to all of you. Because, I don't know, because it's lucrative to support Donald Trump, even when he does wild things like he did in Venezuela. It's more lucrative, right? It's more lucrative to be, to push left over right or right over left to create this division, to sell you lies, to convince you that what Donald Trump is doing is the right thing. It's completely dishonest. It was always about the oil. It was a number of things. It was about the oil and about, strategic positioning and controlling as much as you can of the world, right? It's about world domination. That's really what it's about at the end of the day. And I also told you these elite class people, the corporatists, the big money interests, all the NGOs that run around, flying around in jets and telling you that you're the one who has too big of a carbon footprint. The people that tell you that you need to take this vaccine or that vaccine, that tells you how the world should run, that tell you there should be a one world order. Those individuals, the NGO leaders, the non-governmental organizations that really have the influence, that throw money around, the Zionists, what is one of their number one desires? Right? They want control. They want the resources. They want control over resources. They want control of the people. Right? We know that. We know that they want to be able to eat hamburgers and steaks while you eat the bugs. While you eat the bugs and drink roach milk. Because now they're pushing this bullshit about how roach milk is more nutritious and more nutritious and more has more protein and all this stuff than cow milk. This is what they're telling y'all. They're telling you guys that lab-grown meat is okay. But they're not going to eat lab-grown meat. They're not going to drink roach milk. No, they want that to themselves, right? And what is the biggest desire of these creatures is what I'm going to call them. Well, no, roaches don't have milk, but in their abdomen, they got this white stuff. They call it roach milk, right? They'll extract that from the roach and they'll call it nutritious and they'll give that to you. Children. Yeah. They want access to as many children as they can have for their nasty desires. They desire the children, right? That is their number one commodity. Is understated, is hidden, right? Yeah, children. Yeah, they want access to your children. They want access to children around the world. And I have been watching this Candace Owens thing for the last couple weeks. And the trail she's going down with doing her investigation is crazy, right? And when she dives into these organizations, these churches, right? These cults. She was talking about a cult in Korea. She's talking about Liberty University. She's talking about a lot of different shit. And one common thread amongst all these things that are going on with Turning Point, with the church, with, the Epstein files, right? The Epstein situation. The common thread is children, right? The trafficking and abuse of children, convincing young mothers, young pregnant women that they need to give up their children for adoption, right? It's some wild, crazy shit that I want to touch on. I'm going to cover that. Yeah. And I told you guys about last week. I gave you guys last week. I told you guys about a short story I wrote about a soldier who discovered a child sex trafficking ring running out of Panama, right? Running out of Panama, that was being facilitated by the U.S. military. And the inspiration I got for that short story was based on real events, real shit. Because I told you guys how in certain countries where there's, like third world countries, where there are a lot of, of families that are destitute and they're starving and they're going through situations. The parents would sell their children to sex traffickers so that they can have money. Yeah, So this is real shit, right? It's about power and control. And the people that do these things to children, it goes beyond sexual. It's sexual, but it's beyond sexual because they know they can have full control over the children that they can't have over a grown-ass woman or a grown-ass man. Anyway, which leader has raided human trafficking networks? Which human? Which leader? Well, yeah, Donald Trump has done that in his first term. He was doing all kind of, they were breaking up all kind of child sex trafficking rings. And I was like, that's some good shit. Absolutely. But where is that at now? Is he doing that today? He did a couple of big things, but this is what they're doing, right? These children that they're finding or whatever, they have already been through what they have gone through, right? And so obviously you got to have some moments where you are acting like you are trying to shut it down. So yeah. Thoughts on Palantir or the acquisition of the ring from the flock cameras? I know about Palantir. I got to look into it more. Mahari, it is child prostitution. Listen, child prostitution, child sex trafficking is one of the biggest illegal operations, the grandest, where so many power players are involved. Sex trafficking, that is the biggest thing amongst them. It's a huge conspiracy all over the world. These people that you think might not get along in real life, they'll get along to abuse some children. Yes, I'll do some work on Palantir. I gotta look into. I know Palantir is not a good thing, but anyway, guys, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get my morning coffee before I go back to the house and get back to work. So thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate all you guys' support. Thank you for the likes. You make sure y'all hit the like button. All you gotta do is double tap that screen. I live in South Carolina. I mean, it's no big deal. In the last 20 years of experience as an electrician, and he's not busy. That should tell you something about who they give opportunities. What are you talking about? Now you worried about, y'all are some crazy. I mean, listen, I did spend 20 years as an electrician. Yeah. And now I have shifted the focus of my career on the technology side. Yeah. So I put work in the field for 20 years. 8 of those years as leadership for electrical teams in the field. And now I have shifted to technology, to the technological side, where I can work from home. Since you guys are so interested in what I do for a living, I work from home. I am I'm a project manager for a 3D modeling team. That's what I do for a living, right? So I ensure that we get the deliverables to the client in the form of a 3D model and drawings that they can use to install things in the field. Since you're so concerned about what I do for a living and why I'm not busy, I work my own hours. I choose when I work. I can work at whatever hours I want as a grown-ass man who has put myself in a position, has worked for years and years and years to get myself in this position. All I got to do is make sure that I make the meetings. So I go to the meetings when I need to go to meetings. And other than that, I work whatever hours I want, whenever I want. I know y'all mad about that. It's okay. Salute to you, Orange Lily, for you. Okay, you do flooring? That's what's up. Yeah, that's a rough one right there. But yeah, since you guys are so concerned about what I do for a living, I work my own hours. I make meetings. I lead the team. And then guess what? I do. It is what it is. Y'all can be mad about it though. Salute to How to Be Free. I appreciate you. Yeah, I worked with my hands in the field for 20 years. Salute to you. You own a yachting company. That's what's up. 20 years. Yeah. Technically, it's going to be it'll be 20 years in July or August. It'll be 20 years. But you know, y'all can be mad about it, but that's what I do. I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, y'all, I gotta get out of here. Thank you for coming through. Salute to you, Unique Soul Tarot. You do tarot? Salute to you, Unique Soul Tarot. I don't know, you look kind of cute. Okay, Unique Soul. Looking all cute and beautiful. Salute to you, beautiful, Unique Soul. Yes. But anyway, you guys. And salute to How to Be Free, Orange Lily for you, Flying Guillotine, Tony Hall, Tom Moon, salute to you. The beautiful Orange Lily for you. I always support and always there. Always one of the first people here. Well, thank you, Unique Soul Tarot. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. But guess what, guys? I don't want to say I was right, but I'm right. Yeah. The regime that you guys thought was toppled is not toppled. And now all they can do is seize oil tankers off the coast of Venezuela. But they're not running shit in Venezuela. Yeah. Maduro's regime is still running shit in Venezuela. And that is the point of this live stream. So you guys stay up. The real, salute to the beautiful Real Eyes. Thank you so much as well. Always enjoys having the beautiful ladies in here supporting your boy. Why is it that the most of the people that come at me with the vitriol are men? Why is it the ladies never come at me any foul kind of way, even if they disagree? They're more logical in their disagreements than some of you dudes. What's up with that? The ladies come in here, if they disagree, they're very respectful. They don't come at me, they don't call me out my name. They don't launch ad hominem attacks. They can actually debate the subject. But y'all, you dudes, I don't understand. You guys go through these chats and these comment sections and see how the ladies disagree. And you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. Anyway, much love, like, share, subscribe, and guess what we're gonna do, y'all? Keep marching forward toward freedom and truth, and stop hating.